chapter 1 of The Greatest Secret. It was talking about why the majority of us is still ignorant. And the main reason the majority of us is still ignorant is because the majority of us don't know who we are. So we walk around life having identity crisis, and we steady competing, comparing, and measuring. And that's why we have so many people lost, so many people hurting, so many people suffering, because nobody know who they are. The minute you find out who you is, that's when you put an end to your suffering. You put an end to your misery. You know what I'm saying? You start walking in your purpose. And it's simple. It's hitting and right in plain sight. When you find your true identity, which is happiness, and you stay aware of that. Staying aware is having knowledge of. When you aware of something, I know something. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that your true identity is happiness, you're not in the pursuit of it anymore. Everybody is doing things to be happy. Whether you getting loaded, going from relationship to relationship, job to job. And material things can't bring you this happiness, because your happiness is your true identity. It ain't until you become aware of that is when you truly become happy. And you find yourself being happy for no reason. Nothing can get you down. Nobody can get you out of your character. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to react to everybody's actions. You're not going to panic when everybody panicking. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stand out like a sore thumb. And people going to notice you different. All because you know who you are. So it's easy. It's an idea. It's a belief. You have to believe when you find out who you is. And then you walk in your practice of striving for perfection to keep that belief. You got to grow in faith. Like a mustard seed, it grow. And the more you know, the more it gonna grow. The more you know, the more you gonna believe. It's just like being in a relationship. You get to know the person that you with, the more time you spend with them. So if you spending time knowing who you are, the more you gonna get to know who you are. The more you gonna believe in yourself. You put your mind to things and you gonna believe that you can do it. You feel me? Nobody can tell you otherwise. So that's what chapter 1 was about. Chapter 2 is the greatest secret revealed. So let's get into it. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and share, man. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in on the YouTube. We almost at 70,000 subscribers. You heard me? 70,000 subs. You heard me? And I appreciate every last one of y'all. If you want to become a member on my YouTube channel, we got the Gorilla membership, the Untamed Gorilla membership, and we got the Silverback Gorilla membership. You know what I'm saying? That Silverback Gorilla membership, you get a phone call from me once or twice a month, and you get to ask me whatever, you know what I'm saying, for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm talking about? And I appreciate all the support, man, all the love from everybody. That Joseph album is on the way. Y'all make sure y'all, go to my Instagram, Original Hot Boy Turk. I just dropped a snippet. And I've been asking people, what they think. Because this album means a lot to me. I don't want to just drop it. I need it to be highly anticipated. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them albums where I'm basically just popping it. You feel me? And it's on some grown up shit. Shit that I didn't experience. Shit that I done went through in my life. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of niggas lie in they rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Clickbait type shit. I ain't with all that. Whatever you hear from me, man, it's some real life shit, man. And everybody got a different type of story. Everybody got a story to tell. You feel me? I tell mine well when it come to me. Can't nobody tell my story better than me. The greatest secret revealed. So close you can't see it. So subtle your mind can't understand it. So simple you can't believe it. So good you can't accept it. Why is it so few have discovered the truth? Why haven't the majority of us realized who we are? How can billions of people have missed something so vitally important to our happiness? We've missed discovering the greatest secret because of one small obstacle, a belief. Just a single belief has prevented us from making the greatest discovery we can make. That belief is that we are our body and our mind. You are not your body. We came into this world to be a body in order to learn that we are not a body. Just as you use a car to get from one location to another, your body is a vehicle you use to move around and to experience the world. Your body is a vehicle. So many people are infatuated with their outer appearance to where they don't spend time building up the inner appearance of who they are. And that's the distraction in this world that the devil used. I call it devil distractions. That's one of the things he used to make you feel insecure about your outer appearance. You know what I'm saying? But when you know who you are, the inner appearance, the spiritual being, you won't continue to let the devil cause havoc in your life. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about things that don't even matter. You feel me? If you have a car, you do not say you are the car. Why then, if you have a body, do you say you are the body? Being material, your body isn't conscious. It doesn't know it's a body, but you know it is a body. Your toe doesn't know it's a toe. Your wrist doesn't know it's a wrist. Your head doesn't know it's a head. And your brain has no idea it's a brain. But you know each and every part of your body. How could you be the body when you know all the different parts and yet not one of them knows you? It's probing questions like these that enable the great beings of the past to unravel the mystery behind who we really are. The worst habit we have gotten into over the millenniums is that we believe we are this body. We have forgotten what we are, and we have identified ourselves with objects. I am this body, therefore I'm going to die. You fear that if the body isn't, you are not. Believing you're just your body creates the biggest fear of humanity, the fear of death. When your body dies, you fear you will no longer exist. It's like a dark cloud hanging over your life. If you want immortality, stop holding on to the body. It's good news that you're not your body because your body is going to come to an end one day, as all material things do. The world is completely made up of material things, and not one of those things will last, including your body, which appears and disappears through the process of birth and death. What you actually are never dies. What you truly are cannot die. The body will die, but the body is not what you are. We have free will to identify with the body or identify with who we really are. Body equals pain, and what you are equals infinite joy. Your way out of all difficulties begins with letting go of the belief that you are your body. You are not your mind. The verse in your head is not you. Yet you've probably believed it is you for the most of your life. While the verse in your head sounds like you, seems to know a lot about you, and has become very familiar to you, it's definitely not you. That verse in your head is your mind, and you are not your mind. The mind is a collection of thoughts that constantly appear and disappear. If there are no thoughts, then there's no mind. Mind is only thought. Check for yourself. Where's your mind if there's no thought? Your mind isn't there. There's nothing inside but thoughts and feelings, memories and sensations. But are you a thought? Are you a feeling? If you were a thought, let's say a frustrated thought, then you would disappear when the frustrated thought disappeared. You are not a thought, a sensation, or a feeling, because when they end, you would end too. But you're still here after they end. You are here before a thought. You are here before a feeling or sensation, and you remain perfectly intact after they've gone. It's fairly obvious when you look at it. Certainly, we do experience thoughts, feelings, and sensations, but we are none of those things. In some ways, it's easy to understand how we miss seeing who we really are because the body and mind are a very convincing combination. Our mind keeps up a constant tirade of thoughts, most of which include the word I, as though the mind in us. And you may be surprised to learn that all our bodily sensations come from the mind too, which reinforces our belief that we are our body. How others see you contributes to your sense of self. When things happen, they seem to happen to you, and you may bring them about. You care what happens because of its effect on you. You hold yourself with a wish to keep yourself safe, and in a good light, you certainly do seem real. It's not that you don't have a body and a mind, it's just that they are not the real you, just like your car. They're simply finely tuned instruments you're using to experience the material world. So life on this earth is an experience. The experience that you're having is because of the thoughts that you're conceiving. Your thoughts manifest in this world and give you the experiences that you are experiencing. So if you constantly thinking negative thoughts, guess what? The only thing you're going to experience is negativity. You know what I'm saying? You have to protect your energy, which is who you truly is. You know what I'm saying? You're a spiritual being, but a lot of people don't know that until they realize it. You know what I'm saying? And realization is nothing but awareness. Awareness is knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Everybody walk around until they know with that identity crisis, trying to figure out who they is. You know what I'm saying? Identify with the body and mind is the only thing that is covering up who you truly are. It's the misidentification that is veiling your true self. Are you really the person you think you are? Considering all the effort given to bolstering the ego, the emphasis on self-esteem, reputation, achievement, physical appearance, material acquisition, it's a miracle awakening ever happens at all. The ego, the imagined self, the pretend self, the separate self, and the psychological self are a few of the names that teachers and sages have given for our mistaken identity. All of these descriptions refer to a body and mind that together make up what we call a person. When we refer to ourselves, most of us are referring to this person that we think we are. A person is what you experience. It is not what you are. There's no such thing as a person. If you say I'm a person, then you have to say which one. There was a baby once upon a time. There was a teenager. There was a toddler. And then this whole process will be over soon. Your personality is constantly changing. So if your personality is you, which person are you? Are you the angry person, the loving person, the frustrated person, the irritated person, or the kind person? You probably think you're all of them, but you can't be all of them because if you were, the angry person would never disappear. It will always be here. Or if the frustrated person was really you, when the frustrated person disappear, a bit of you would disappear with it. But that doesn't happen, does it? You're here before the angry person appears, and you're here after the angry person disappears. You're here before the frustrated person appears, and you're here after they disappear. Clearly, you are not your changing moods or personality. Personality is a useful tool, but it cannot define who you are. Who you are lies far beyond who you think you are. The biggest obstacle to discovering the truth of who we essentially are is the belief that I am a cluster of thoughts, memories, feelings, and sensations. Together, these form an illusory self or entity. The belief that I am this entity is only obstacle. All our psychological problems are due to this imaginary self. It always comes down to mistaking ourselves for this. The person only seems to exist because of the persistent and unquestioned belief that there is an actual person here. But the person or ego can't exist without the belief in it. It only imagination. In truth, there's no person at all. The only resident of this house of the body is pure self, which is what you are. The rest is all made up. There are not two tenants in this body. There's only one ever been, there's only ever one been, there's only ever been one. Belief in ego gives a sense of reality, but this is not a fact, only a fiction. What's the problem with believing we're an ego or a person? We feel small and extremely vulnerable. We're afraid of bad things happening to us. We're afraid of illness, getting old, and dying. We're afraid of losing the things we have and not getting the things we want. We live in a state of lack, believing there's not enough money, not enough time, not enough energy, not enough love, health, or happiness, and not enough life. And even worse, we believe we're not enough. None of this is true. In fact, it is the very opposite of the truth. But we can never have true lasting happiness while we hold on to the belief that we're only a person. The tragedy and comedy of the human condition is that we spend most of our lives thinking, feeling, acting, perceiving, and relating on behalf of the illusory self. The ego isn't who you are, but it makes so much racket you can't hear who you really are. If you keep it going, if you feed and water the ego, it's madness. I think everyone is suffering from person pausing, living life too personally, perceiving life too personally, taking things too personally. When you're responding to life in a personal mood, it is a form of blindness. You don't see things in their correct light. So when you're taking things personal, you're blinded. You're not supposed to take nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? When you know who you are. People can say whatever they want to say because you have built this ego up to believe that you are something that you're not even, that you made yourself to be. Only person you is the person that God say you are, a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? When we get on that level, it sets us apart, bro. It sets us apart, I promise you. It's like nothing can bother you. It don't matter what they saying, what they thinking. You feel me? You feel above, like you just, I can't explain it. But when I experienced it for my first time, I ain't never want to go back and feel the way I felt before I knew who I was. Because it did used to bother me when people say things about who I made myself to be. I thought of these thoughts of me, that I'm this person and that person and I'm supposed to be doing this. So if anybody challenged that before I knew who I truly was, guess what? It made me mad because I was taking that shit personal. You feel me? I was taking everything personal. Everything a motherfucker was saying about me, I'm taking it personal if it didn't add up to who I thought I was. You feel me? But now it's like, I damn, I feel sorry for you because you really don't know who I am. You really don't know who you dealing with. So, smile and confuse the devil. You feel me? It's a wonderful feeling. You are most certainly experiencing the body, experiencing the mind, and having the experience of being a person. But these are actually the least parts of you. And ultimately, they are not you because when they end, you do not end. There is no people in people, but there is a real you. Why is it so hard to see through the ego, to let it go, to stop believing in the solidity of the little guy. Why do we hold on to this apparently real self when beneath and around and above and swimming all through it is this gorgeous other reality that really is real, that can be counted on for sustenance, for perfect peacefulness? Why deny ourselves this for sake of something so paltry by comparison, for a thing that causes so much trouble, even pain? Big pretenders. Your thoughts, feelings, sensations, and beliefs seamlessly work together to convince you you're a person. We're all big pretenders. We pretending we're very small. We're pretending we're very limited. We're pretending we're a small, limited person who is born, lives for a time, dies, and that's the end of us. But nothing could be further from the truth. We are self-obsessed with an imaginary character that doesn't exist. We could say that this imaginary character is exactly like a movie character. We know the actor playing the character exists, but does the movie character know that the actor exists? No, the movie character is imaginary. We cement ourselves, we cement our belief that we're a person with every thought. If you check on any thought, you'll find that there's a me at the center of every one of them. Those thoughts center around the me. You believe yourself to be affirmed over and over again that you're a little limited person. When you believe the verse in your head is who you are, you automatically believe everything it says. You believe all the thoughts that your mind generates. Thoughts like, I'm getting old. I'm too tired. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. I don't have enough time. I'm not as healthy as I used to be. I don't have enough money. I'm not smart enough. My eyesight is not as good as it used to be. I don't feel love. He or she doesn't approve of me. I don't deserve it. I'm scared of dying. I don't know what to do. These thoughts are limitations imposed on you by your mind. Who you really are is unlimited, which means absolutely nothing has power over you. Ain't that the way you want to be? Because in your mind, you'll feel like you're powerless. But when you know who you really are, nothing got power over you. You're powerful. You feel me? The devil don't want you to know these things, man. Because then he don't have no stronghold on you. People walk around with strongholds and don't even know it. Walking around with egos and don't even know that's a stronghold. You got to experience being a spiritual being. They call it heaven on earth. You feel me? You walk in a different light. You shine. People could see the light shining through you without you even saying it. That's why a lot of people gravitate to people who got that light on them. You feel me? Because people can see it. People can see the change in you when you find out who you really is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go around promoting, man, I changed. I know who I am now. Da, da, da. You don't have to go around saying that. One thing you know it gonna do when you find out who you really is, the devil gonna be real pissed off. He gonna be trying so hard to make you backslide. That's a sign that you on the right track. And people are gonna see it. And you're gonna have some people that gonna commend it because they on the same path. You feel me? Anybody that's on the same path of knowing who they really is will not hate you, man. They gonna welcome you with open arms. You could be a complete stranger. There's no jealousy, no envy there. You know what I'm saying? It's one love, which is God. God is love. You feel me? But it don't mean that everything is gonna be all smooth for you, because it's gonna be more harder. You're gonna have attacks on you like you never had. You know what I'm saying? But that's all signs and symbols. You conscious now. You got a conscious mind, so you always gonna get attacked, but the attack won't touch you. You see what I'm saying? Unless you give in. Unless you give in, you have to stoop to the level of the attack for the attack to touch you. Remember, it's two different levels. You feel me? My teacher says that we're practicing being small through constant limited thoughts, like the ones I just listed. And if we were practicing being a small, limited person, we would see the truth of who we really are. Everything about a person is the very opposite of who you really are. The person is imperfect. The real you is perfect. The person is temporary and limited. The real you is prominent and unlimited. The person is born and dies. The real you is never born and never dies. The person is personal and unstable. The real you is impersonal and always stable. The person is changing moods. The real you is constant happiness and peace. The person is full of judgments and opinions. The real you is allowing and accepting of everything. The person gets sick and becomes old. The real you is not subject to aging, and sickness can never touch you. The person suffers. The real you is free of all pain and suffering. The person dies. The real you exists for all eternity. Trading unhappiness for truth. There's only one way to have a blissful life with lasting happiness, and that is to know your true nature. So you're in the pursuit of happiness, but there's only one way to have it everlasting. All the material things that you're chasing to make you happy is only temporary. That's why you never fulfilled and you always want more. Sometimes that wind up becoming greed. And you mistake greed for being happy. All the while you're sinning. I'm going to do anything to get this feeling. Chasing the dragon, like getting loaded. You'll never feel that same high that you felt when you first did it, but in your mind, you chasing, thinking you is. You'll never feel the same way. You feel me? You only deteriorate until it's over. But when you know your true nature, then you have a blissful life with permanent happiness. You feel me? There's only one way out of life plagued with problems, negativity, and discord, and that is to know the truth of who you really are. You walk around with your head up higher, man. Man, what you saying don't even matter, man. Grow up, homie. Little mama, you need to grow up. I hear you. I heard you. You feel me? And they be like, damn, I can't get to them. You heard me? But sometimes, due to the fact that we do fall weak sometimes, we backslide. But that backslide will turn into a conviction that you need to get it right quicker than a person who don't know. Once you get a taste of it, you're going to have those convictions to remind you when you're slipping and they don't feel good. So you want to strive for perfection and stay on that side because it don't feel the same when you know better. You know what I'm saying? It eat at your conscience. So stay on that high, that permanent blissfulness, knowing who you is. The real you is infinitely grand and glorious, whole, perfect, and in total peace. And you are blending yourself to, and you are blinding yourself to this by assuming that you are a limited ego. Drop the blinder, the ego, and be forever in perfect peace and joy. When you have found yourself, you will have everything. Life is not about solving lots of little problems because they will never end. Life points us to the one essential thing that has been overlooked. our own true and unchanging self. Mankind as a whole is living largely in the mistaken idea that we are fundamentally a person with a body as opposed to our true self. There may be tragedy in the story of our lives, but in truth, there is no tragedy happening to us. Ultimately, the story is only there to teach us this distinction. The moment we take the lesson, even the story changes to reveal itself as beauty, love, and intelligence. Do not be attached to the concept that misery is unavoidable. As as long as we are attached to this concept, there will be misery. In the biblical parable, the man who identified with the body, mind is the man who built his house on sand. To realize one's true nature is to build one's house on a rock. There's no search to find the truth because it is what you already are. How could you search for yourself? It's only that the majority of us have been constantly looking away from our true selves rather than looking at who we are. Have you ever looked at one of those pictures where there are two images in the one picture? When you first look at the picture, you can see one image clearly, but at first you can't see the second image. You try, but the second image seems to elude you due to your focus on the first image. You have to change your perspective and soften your gaze ever so slightly to see the other image come into view. In Rubens' famous picture, at first, either you see two people looking at each other or you see a vase. To see both images clearly, you have to shift the way you're looking at the picture. For most of our lives, we've been looking at ourselves from the perspective that we are a body and mind, that we are a person. But to see clearly who we are, just as for Rubens' painting, we have to shift our perspective ever so slightly. Trying to convince people. When people have their own perspective of something, no matter what you do, what you say, how you do it, how you say it, people gonna have their own perspective of how they see it no matter what. You feel me? Some people have so small perspectives of things, man. It's like it's a waste of your time. You know what I'm saying? But don't dim your perspective of who you is to try to please somebody else who can't see it or don't know or who blind. You feel me? The reveal. Let me ask you one simple question. Are you aware? Your answer must be yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be aware of the question I asked you. Let me ask you again. Are you aware? Yes, you are aware. You were aware as a baby through your childhood, your teenage years, and throughout adulthood. You've been aware your entire life. Awareness is and has been the only constant in your life. Your body keeps changing, your minds keep changing, thoughts, feelings, and sensations all keep changing. But the one thing that never changed is your awareness of it all. At that, awareness is who we really are. You are awareness. You are it. It's so close you cannot see it. You look through his eyes at the world around you. When we say I, we've been conditioned to believe that we're referring to the body when really I is referring to awareness. You are not a body, a mind, or a bundle of thoughts, feelings, memories, or sensations. You are the one who is aware of your body, your mind, your thoughts, feelings, memories, and sensations. You are awareness itself. The moment you meet awareness, something is in you recognizes it. You're aware of reading this book. You're aware of the sounds around you. You're aware of the room you're in. You're aware of your name. You're aware of your body and clothes on your body, your breathing and bodily sensations. You're aware of the roof of your mouth, the soles of your feet and your fingers. You're aware of your mind, the thoughts in your head, and your feelings and moods. In fact, you couldn't know or experience any of life at all without awareness. You are the awareness that is aware of everything. Awareness is what you aware of every single life experience you have. It's not the mind or the body that is aware of your life. You, the awareness that you are aware of the mind, thoughts, and the body. And anything you are aware of cannot be you. The teacher Salabai Adamson points out that we know we exist and that we have no doubt. Well, the only way we know that we exist is our awareness that we exist. We make the mistake of believing our awareness that we exist comes from the mind of our body, but that is not true. Our awareness that we exist is what we truly are, not the mind or the body. Just for a moment, imagine you have a no body or mind. Take away your body, take away your mind, take away your name, take away your life story, which is your entire past. Take away all memories, beliefs, and all thought, and notice what is left. What is left is simply awareness. If someone were to draw our attention to the white paper on which these words are written, we would suddenly become aware of it. In fact, we were always aware of the paper but didn't realize it due to the exclusive focus of our attention on the words. Awareness is like the white paper. Just like the white paper, awareness is always present in the background of our life. We usually give our exclusive attention to our mind and thoughts and our body and sensations because they're very attention grabbing. But we could not experience the mind and its thoughts or the body and its sensations without awareness to be aware of them. Just as we could not see any words if it were not for the background of the paper that the words were printed on. Give your attention to this background even a little, and you will discover a whole new world. Awareness is the most obvious element of experience, and yet the most overlooked. The subtle thing that is overlooked is that everything is known directly by awareness, but it's assumed that everything is coming in through the mind. For instance, the common thing would be to say, I think, but actually, if it looks as carefully, it notices that there is an awareness of thinking. So the thinking isn't who you are. There's something that is aware of thinking. The one that is looking out through your eyes is awareness. The one that is hearing through your ears is awareness. Without awareness, you wouldn't be aware of anything you see, hear, taste, smell, or touch, and you would have no experience of the information coming through your senses. Your senses aren't aware. It's awareness that's aware of all of your senses. The apparatus with which we see it by itself, inert, unable to see. A telescope is useless without an astronomer behind it. It doesn't see anything by itself. Likewise, the apparatus of mind doesn't see anything by itself. You are the awareness that is aware of everything. This individual consciousness or feeling, I am a person, a separate individual, a mind or soul confined within the limits of a body, is merely an imagination, a false and distorted form of our pure consciousness. I am, but it is nevertheless the root cause of all desire and all misery. The me that we imagine we are is just another thought. Our real nature, the infinite real self that we are, is simply us minus the mind. Our mind distorts the world we see by layering veils of thought and beliefs, one over the top of each other. Each mental veil distorts the world further and prevents us from seeing everything the way it really is. The mind will never discover who you are because the mind is the cover up of who you are. It's only by letting go of the mind that you will discover who you are. Trying to see the truth with your mind is like trying to see something with a blindfold on. You need to drop the blindfold to see, just as you need to drop the mind to see who you really are. Attempting to understand consciousness with your mind is like trying to illuminate the sun with a candle. Without even realizing it, most of us are constantly focused on the noise of thoughts coming from our mind. Awareness is always present, but when there's a break from the noise of thoughts, it's much easier to notice it. When thoughts stop, we become consciously aware of awareness, which has been existing silently in the background all along. The mind covers up. We're so used to knowing ourselves through our troubles, our dramas, and our obsessions that awake awareness, which is our true nature and our basic goodness. is hard to accept as our true identity. Hold on, y'all. You dig? Awareness, the knowing, the knowledge. Awake awareness is the name that Luch Kelly uses for awareness, and it is just one of the many names used by teachers past and present to describe what you are. Awareness, awake awareness, consciousness, cosmic consciousness, being, Buddha, nature, Christ consciousness, God consciousness, spirit, the self, infinite being, infinite intelligence, unlimited being, true nature, true self, presence of God, presence awareness, pure consciousness, peer awareness, and many others. All these words are describing exactly the same thing, the awareness that you are. We're so smart and our lives are so complex that it's hard to believe that simply discovering awake awareness could be the solution to our suffering. It's also hard to believe that the most important discovery is already here within us. We don't have to go on an odyssey to find it, earn it, or develop it. The great joke is the simplicity of it all. It's a great joke because what we truly are, what is closer to us than our very breath, has eluded the majority of humans for thousands of years. We've missed the simplest, most wonderful discovery because our thoughts have a hypnotic effect on us that keeps us in our head, oblivious in awareness. We usually give our attention exclusively to the thoughts in our mind and to everything we perceive through our senses. And with our attention diverted, we miss what is always present, awareness. There is nothing wrong with the body or the mind. The only problem is that we identify our witnessing presence, consciousness with them. As long as we identify this witnessing presence with the body and the mind, there is no room for this presence to reveal itself in all its glory. For a moment, take off the persona. It's just an item of clothing, threadbare, stained with your years of wear and tear. To believe that our self, luminous, open, empty awareness shares the limits and the destiny of the mind and body is like believing that the screen shares the limits and destiny of a character in a movie. People think they are a human being, but they're the infinite being. They've mistaken their identity, but who they really are has never left them and is always present. Your mind appears only when you have a thought, and it disappears after the thought has ended. But awareness never appears and disappears. Awareness is always present, even when you're asleep. It feels like awareness disappears when you go to sleep and appears again when you wake. And yet you know when you've had a great night's sleep because you say something like, I slept really well. I slept like a baby. How do you know that you slept like a baby? You know it because awareness was aware and present the entire time you were sleeping. When you ask yourself the question, am I aware? Immediately awareness is noticed. It didn't appear. It was always present. You simply took your attention from thinking and put it on awareness. And so you become consciously aware. Everything other than awareness eventually ends or dies. Without exception, all material earthly things come and go, appear and disappear. Every single thing on earth, bodies, cities, countries, oceans, appears and eventually disappears. Take a moment to think about it, and you'll see that nothing remains. It's all temporary. Even planet Earth itself, the sun, the solar system, even universes. Nothing is here forever except for one thing, awareness. You, awareness are here forever. Our bodies age. Yet when people get older, they'll say that they don't feel they have aged and that they feel the same as they always have. They admit that their body feels old, but the one thing they feel themselves to be deep down it doesn't feel like it has aged at all. Without realizing it, they are sensing a timeless awareness that they are really are. When you remember your past, your childhood, who is it that remembers? I remember. I is that which knows the experience, remembers the experience. The I that we call ourselves at 5 years old 15 years old, 35 years old, 60 years old is the ageless awareness that has witnessed our entire life. 5 years old, I am going to school soon. 15 years old, I cannot wait to graduate. 30 years old, I just got engaged. 60 years old, I am not ready for retirement yet. Self-realization is to see that changing appearances on the surface of life are arising within a permanent, ever stable awareness that one truly is and has only ever been. This is not a fairy tale. This possible thing is as real as a tree, as real as politics, as the roots that hold a tree to the ground, as real as the newspaper and its stories. It is as real as the Red Sox, as the price of gas, as a fight with your in-laws, or as real as a tuition bill. The truth is, it is more real than those things, and yet it is hardly seen, hardly felt, let alone directly known. There is not one of us who is not in direct touch with, in possession of an infinite beingness that's all perfect, all present, all joyous, and all eternal. There's not one of us who is not in direct contact with that right now. But due to wrong learning, by assuming over the ages concepts of limitations, and by looking outwardly, we have beclouded the view. We have covered over the infinite being that we are with concepts of I am this physical body, or I am this mind, or with this physical body and mind, I have heaps and heaps of problems and troubles. This is the same state that most religion refers to as liberation or salvation, because only in this state of true self-knowledge are we free or saved from the bondage of mistaking ourselves to be a separate individual, a consciousness that is confined within the limits of a physical body. Consciousness or awareness is also known by some religions as the presence of God. When a person has a divine experience, an experience where they feel like they were touched by God, the individual mind and ego drop, which then reveals awareness or the presence of God. There's a feeling of pure love, infinite peace, beauty, happiness, and bliss, which cannot be mistaken for anything but divinity. In reality, we are the infinite being rather than a human being. We are the infinite being having a human experience. In many ways, the truth of life and ourselves is actually the complete opposite to what we have been taught. Instead of looking outward to the world for happiness, for fulfillment, for answers, the truth, we need to turn and look inward, because it's only in that direction that we will find everything we're looking for. Our breathtaking world and everything in it is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest, but the happiness, joy, love, peace, intelligence, and freedom that are awareness, your very nature, can only be found within you. To some people, that's enlightenment. To some people, it's boredom. To some people, like, man, shut the fuck up, I don't want to hear it. To those people, that the latter are the ones that I used to be a long time ago. Shut the fuck up, I don't want to hear it. But when I experience my true self or who I really am, by going through life experiences and understanding that the things that I was in pursuit of wasn't there, God allowed me to be things that people wanted to be, and it didn't bring happiness. So what it did, it brought me back to a realization of it's something else. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I became aware of who I really was that I felt complete. And once you feel it, man, you strive to stay feeling it and keep feeling it while you experiencing this human life. Yeah, it's pain and suffering and all that down here, but when you ain't thinking like that on a human level, you could get through it. You won't go through it like a person who don't know. You know what I'm saying? See, people tell you to read the Bible, pray, go to church, but these books right here shows you how to apply the knowledge, how to use the awareness that be revealed to you. And that's what we need. We need the instructions on how to do the things that are good for us to do. You feel me? And you just got to believe. Once you experience what you're doing is good for you, believe that this is what you need to be doing and continue to walk in your purpose. And then your job is to be a servant and let other people know about it. Because it is a better life. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go through life suffering. Why you here on this earth? You don't have to suffer. You feel me? The way a person who don't know, a person who's not aware, which is the knowing, which is the knowledge. People giving people misinformation and disinformation and malinformation to control them. Watch this. Watch this. What is disinformation, malinformation, and misinformation? It's three different mations that's wrong. And they all got an intent. Disinformation, malinformation, and misinformation are terms used to describe different types of false or misleading information. Here are the definitions and the distinctions. Disinformation. The definition of disinformation is false information that is deliberately created and spread to deceive or mislead people. I did this deliberately to deceive you and mislead you. I really don't want you to know. The intent. It is intentionally crafted to manipulate or influence public opinion, disrupt societal norms, or cause harm. When a person deliberately mislead and deceive you, they intend to harm you. They intended to harm you. They intended to influence other people's minds to do the same thing. So I deliberately put these lies out on you. I did this on purpose because I wanted to mislead people. So I gave them disinformation. DIS, information. Fabricated news or stories designed to sway an election outcome. Fabricated lies to sway people from liking you, people from supporting you. I'm only saying this to make people not fuck with you. So I'm gonna give them disinformation. A lot of that go on. You heard me? Then you got misinformation. False or inaccurate information that is spread regardless of whether there is intent to mislead. The intent of the spreader may believe the information is true and has no intention to deceive. Example, sharing a false rumor on social media because you believe it to be true. When you have an evil person who sent out disinformation, you might be a person that just got the disinformation, but your intent is not deliberately to hurt. You just repeating what you heard So it became misinformation for you once you start spreading it because you was led wrong. You see what I'm saying? So you got disinformation and misinformation working together. You got the deliberate, the corporate behind the lie. Then you got the pawns to spread the lie. You feel me? And then you have the malinformation, MAL, information that is based on reality, but is used to inflict harm on a person, organization, or a country. The intent, while the information itself might be accurate, it is disclosed or used in a way that is intended to cause harm. Example, leaking private emails to damage someone's reputation. My intent, I know that this information is not supposed to get to people, but I'm going to give it out to ruin your reputation. This is something that only I know. So I'm going to give out this mail information because I don't like you. You feel me? There's a lot of people who are lost, who got real bird brains, man. Like, and they go around life, go around having experiences of competing, comparing, and measuring. And it's so bad to where you'll have people competing, comparing, and measuring other people who they may worship against you. Not measuring themselves against you. I like him more than you, so I'm gonna measure him. I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna put him in competition. I'm gonna side with him. People lost all because of disinformation, malinformation, and misinformation. They don't have the correct information. And then when you get the right information, that ego kick in. You don't want to admit that you was wrong because in your mind, you done made it up in your mind that you right. So that ego puff up and you ain't gonna say you was wrong. You're gonna justify it. So now you become narcissistic. You want to blame everybody but yourself. So you got a lot of narcissistic people. You got a lot of gaslighters out there. You feel me? People who, y'all know what gaslighters are, right? Y'all do know what gaslighters are, right? What are gaslighters? Gaslighters are individuals who engage in gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where the perpetrator seeks to make the victim doubt their own perceptions, memories, or sanity. The term originates from the 1938 play Gaslight and its subsequent film adaptations, where a husband attempts to drive his wife insane by making her question reality. Gaslighting tactics may include denying reality, insisting that something didn't happen when it did, or vice versa, distorting facts, twisting information or events to suit their narrative, blaming the victim, making the victim feel responsible for the perpetrator's actions, withholding information, refusing to acknowledge or discuss important topics or concerns, and minimizing feelings, dismissing or belittling the victim's emotions and experiences. The goal of gaslighting is to undermine the victim's confidence and autonomy, ultimately gaining control over them. This manipulation can occur in various relationships, including romantic partnerships, family dynamics, friendships, and workplace environments. So this is the type of stuff that we're dealing with from human beings. A bunch of manipulation, a bunch of people, getting over. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that going on in the world. So when you experience who you truly are, you separate yourself from all of that negativity. Your life become better because now you didn't took yourself away from the world standards of living, from pretending like everything is all right when it's not. The world is a bunch of pretenders. If you living in the world, you're a pretender. Nothing real. It's all fake, fabricated, lies. You know what I'm saying? Say, don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, in order to change your life, you have to have new information repetitiously. You feel me? Get from under the old information that you had got, because it's lies, deceit, a bunch of snakes. And come experience the awareness. Find out who you really are. Don't believe the lies that they told you that who you is, because that's not who you are. Find out who you is and stay that way. And the cares of the world won't affect you that like it used to. I guarantee you. I guarantee you walk different. You talk different. You go from having a circle to a dot. You find out the people that really mean you good and the people that mean you harm. And you start making adjustments, protecting your energy. You feel me? Being happy for no reason. So to summarize everything up on chapter 2, the greatest secret revealed. So, and the greatest secret revealed is that your true identity is awareness. A single belief has prevented us from making the greatest discovery, the belief that we are our body and our mind. You are not your body. Your body is a vehicle you use to experience the world. Your body isn't conscious. Believing you're your body creates the biggest fear of humanity, the fear of death. What you actually are never dies. You are not your mind. Mind is only thoughts. If there are no thoughts, there's no mind. You are not a thought, a sensation, or a feeling, because if you were, when they end, you would end too. Your body and mind together make up what we call a person, the imagined self. A person is what you experience. It is not what you are. We can never have true lasting happiness while we hold on to the belief that we are a person. You are experiencing the body, experiencing the mind, and having the experience of being a person, but they are not you. We're pretending we're a small, limited person through constant thoughts of limitation. Who you really are is unlimited, which means absolutely nothing has power over you. You've been aware your entire life. Awareness is and has been the only constant in your life. That awareness is who you really are. You are awareness. You couldn't know or experience any of life without awareness. It's not the mind or the body that is aware of your life. Awareness is what is aware of every single life experience you have. Imagine you have no body or mind, name, life story, past, memory, beliefs, or thoughts. What is left is awareness. We usually give our attention exclusively to thoughts and to everything we perceive, so we miss what is always present, awareness. Awareness is present even when you're asleep. When you ask yourself the question, am I aware? Immediately awareness is noticed. It didn't appear. It was always present. Everything other than awareness eventually ends or dies. The I that we call ourselves at every age is the ageless I of awareness, which has witnessed our entire life. Instead of looking outward to the world for happiness, we need to turn and look inward. It's only in that direction that we will find everything we're looking for. So while we looking for things on the outside, we will never find what we're looking for. But when we reach inside yourself and live out your dream, reach inside yourself and live out your vision. See, God give you a vision to walk in. God will show you where you're going to be and where you're going to be today, tomorrow, and the next day in a vision. Nobody else will be able to see it. And if you tell somebody, they'll try to deter you from going there. But nah, you got to believe what God showed you. If God showed you and told you that you're going to be a millionaire, guess what? Anything that don't remind you of being that millionaire, you off a track of what God told you was going to be. You know what I'm saying? You have to live from the inside out, not the outside in. And you have to stay aware of what's inside of you. Awareness is your true identity, not what the world and says you are, or who the world says you is, or who you done told yourself you is in your mind. See what I'm saying? And it's going to be complicated to people who don't want to get it. But people who are on that path to getting it understand what this book's saying through me. And the way how you stay connected with what's inside of you, you have to stay reminded by staying aware. So guess what? When you studying, you reading, that's how faith come, by hearing. You got to continue to hear what's inside of you. Block out what's outside of you. You don't hear none of that. I don't hear nothing what you talking about. Because that ain't what I see inside of me. Your life become real simple when you find out that you are happiness, when you stay aware of that's who you are. So we found out two things. We found out that happiness is who we are permanently, and awareness is how we stay reminded of that happiness, who we are permanently. So guess what? Anything that's not of that, that awareness gonna let us know. I don't need to be rocking with that. I don't need to be around this person. I don't need to be in this situation. That's how you be led. You get led from the inside out, not the outside in. You feel me? What have you seen that nobody's seen but you? Is what you need to be led by if it's the right thing. See what I'm saying? So I just come on here and be a vessel, man, and give you the word and a witness of this word being real, man. Because this is what changes me. This is what keeps me from crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that's happened, people see it in a carnal mind that are carnal minded. And sometimes people be thinking it's a joke. I don't get the laugh. It's I be like, what it was? But it shows me where you at in your awareness. Because if you was on a higher scale, you'll be probably where I'm at with what's going on. It wouldn't be nothing. You'll overstand it. You'll overstand Joseph. You'll understand that concept. Not like dude who come on here today and say, man, be quiet, man. You should be quiet. I talk too much. Boy, you need to be telling people who not talking the right thing to shut up or be quiet and say they talk too much. As long as you talking what's right, don't shut up. The world need to hear what's right. See, that's what's wrong with people today. They don't know how to tell the truth and shame the devil. They let the devil out-talk them. Not me. The devil would never have the last say so. Straight up. If you don't like hearing the truth, change the channel. Because you listening to me too much. I ain't talking too much. You listening to me too much. Simple. See how you flip it. See, the devil will twist the words and make it seem like is you know. But then when you know to use the word back against him and flip it and show a whole nother side. See, that's what Jesus did in the garden when he was fasting for 40 days and the devil tried to come and tempt him with the word. And Jesus just used the word. The devil knew the word too, but he twisted the word. And Jesus told the truth and he fled. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm Christ-like. Yeah. I'm God-like. You feel me? A lot of people talk about, man, we all are gods. Yeah, when you doing it the way God do it. Because you might just be the devil's son. Devil wanted to be God. See, you can't say you're like God if you're not living by the fruits of the Spirit. According to Galatians. The fruits of the Spirit. Let me remind y'all. Galatians chapter 5 is 9 fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit refer to the qualities of virtues that are produced in the lives of those who live in accordance with the Holy Spirit. As described in the New Testament of the Bible, they are listed in the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verses 22 through 23. According to the Apostle Paul, the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These virtues are considered evidence of a life transformed by the Holy Spirit, reflecting the character or the nature of a follower of Christ. They are often cited in Christian teachings and writings as goals for personal spiritual development and as markers of a healthy spirit-filled life. So, yes, if you are walking in those 9 virtues or characteristics, then you can say, I'm God-like. Do they have the fruits of the devil? Let's see. While the term fruits of the devil is not a specific biblical concept, certain behaviors and traits are often described in the Bible as being contrary to the virtues encouraged by the Holy Spirit. These negative behaviors and traits can be seen as opposites of the fruits of the Spirit and are typically associated with sinful or ungodly living. In the same chapter of Galatians that lists the fruits of the Spirit, Paul also mentions the acts of the flesh, which can be viewed as the detrimental qualities or behaviors. So, sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. These behaviors are viewed as destructive and indicative of a life not aligned with God's will. They contrast sharply with the positive qualities of the fruits of the Spirit, serving as a warning to avoid such actions and to seek a life led by the Holy Spirit. So, if you are living according to these acts of the flesh, you're not godlike. You're not godlike. So, anytime anybody is filled with hate, that ain't God. Envy, jealousy, that ain't God. Impurity, selfish, that ain't God. And guess what? A person that's moved by the Spirit gonna know, man, all those traits that you got, man, I don't want no parts of it, man. I gotta stay away from it. Cause you displaying evil traits. And we're not equally yoked. I gotta stay away from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to spot the who's and the what's. You feel me? But you have to stay aware. Staying aware, you able to see. You able to have discernment to know. Then you choose what you want to be, who you want to be around. You feel me? Because you got to navigate through this world. And you have to know what to avoid through this world. It's that simple. So if God wants you to be happy, all of them things I just named is going to make you sad. You feel me? So stay aware of the things that keep you happy and stay on that path. Even if you have to let people go out of your life, if they on some negativity, envy, jealousy, hate, selfish, gossipers, well, all that, having grown and matured to the level where you are at, then y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's like night and day. It ain't gonna work anyway. Be with those. Evil company corrupts good character. So if you hang around with, let's go to evil company. But evil company corrupts good character. What does evil company do? You hanging with evil company. Evil company or bad company refers to associations with individuals who exhibit immoral or harmful behavior, and it is commonly believed that such associations can have a negative influence on one's own character and actions. This concept is rooted in various cultural and religious teachings, including the Bible. The phrase is often derived from 1 Corinthians 15 and 33, where the Apostle Paul says, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." This suggests that spending time with people who engage in unethical or immoral behavior can lead to the erosion of one's own moral standards and values. The influence of evil company can manifest in several ways. Encouragement of negative behavior. Individuals may feel pressured or tempted to engage in behaviors they would normally avoid, such as lying, cheating, stealing, or unethical activities. Being with the wrong company can make you do things that you don't even normally do. I normally don't even be a hater. I normally don't dislike people that ain't never did me nothing. But being around this evil company, it corrupting my character. And it's encouraging me to be negative. I ain't even being myself. Erosion of values. Constant exposure to negative influences can weaken one's resolve to maintain their principles and values, leading to a gradual shift in what they consider acceptable behavior. You don't even stand on your values no more because of the evil company. You hear me? Damage to reputation. Associating with people known for their bad behavior can harm one's reputation, as others may assume that one shares the same values or engages in similar activities. You're around people that low down, cutthroat, conniving. You can't keep an image of you an upright person and that's all you hanging around. Nah, your character gonna be damaged. And reputation is the cornerstone of power. People be with people and don't even know, and that's why people think the way they think about you. This is why people treating you the way they treating you, because look at your company. It ain't even you, but it's your company. Hindrance to personal growth. Surrounding oneself with negative influences can limit opportunities for positive personal development, as constructive behaviors and attitudes are not reinforced. Being around the wrong people can stunt your growth, have you in the same mentality, stuck in the past, not seeing and looking at things for what they really are. And last but not least, emotional and mental impact. Relationships with toxic or harmful individuals can lead to emotional distress, anxiety, and other mental health issues. So, in the end, being with the wrong people gonna eventually affect your mental and have you depressed, sad, anxious, cause you to have health problems because they done took you down through there. It'll start off as you displaying these traits to somebody else. And as you be that pawn, then when they finish using you, the end results be, I got one more to take down. You don't get away. You did the dirty work and they gonna get you too. That's the results of bad company, man. It corrupts all the way through what you do and who you are. To mitigate these effects, it is often advised to seek out positive influences and build relationships with people who encourage and support ethical and constructive behavior. So if you're caught up into bad company, the remedy to it, get around positivity. Get around people who lifting you up. Get around love. Separate yourself from something that you know wrong, but it might be beneficial to you in the worldly mindset. I go through this knowing that this person I know this person ain't right for me, but I need, and in my mind, I think I'm gonna be able to get something. Guess what? You'll never be able to get nothing from the devil. He's very crafty. The devil is very crafty, man. You think you gonna beat the devil without God? You can't beat the devil acting like the devil. You only can beat him acting like God. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, listen. I thank God for awareness, having the knowledge that I got, going through the things that I done been through so I could discern and know what's what. You know, this is how you separate yourself from the bad company with the bad intent, you know, spreading misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. Can't get to me, man. I'm what you call a threat to the devil. Because this is one soul that he can't get. And he know it. Because I ain't going to compromise my integrity for nothing that he got to offer. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm too blessed. You can't afford me. See what I'm saying? Man, listen, man. It ain't hard out here. What's hard about you saying that is hard. Change that. Change the way you viewing out here. And it's going to be different for you. You feel me? Like, I'm no different than you. So don't wait to be disciplined. Practice to be disciplined, you know, and just strive for it. And don't beat yourself up. Just strive to be better. Have the mindset that no matter what and where, I'm going to do the right thing. And as you practice, practice make perfect. That's it. But don't speak, man, it's hard. I can't do this. I can't. Because now you planting those seeds. And you setting yourself up to believe it. And what you believe, you experience. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe. If y'all ain't subscribed to the YouTube channel, man, y'all already know what it is. Follow me on my Instagram, Original Hot Boy Turk. Anybody got any questions, man? You feel me? We on. So tomorrow we gonna be on chapter 3 in The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Also have The Secret. You can watch The Secret on Netflix or on YouTube. They got a documentary, like a short-lived biopic movie type. Man, my wife was going through hell, and we started watching The Secret. And The Secret, when we watched it, it changed my life. You know, I used to be on a rampage. It's like I was possessed. You feel me? Just mad and angry, taking it out on the closest person that loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like it could get like that because it always be the closest person to you. The devil try to get y'all to separate. You know. And man, when I got one, it just changed me. You feel me? Like sometimes you gotta have that pivotal moment. You know. And when you have that pivotal moment, man, what's a pivotal moment? A pivotal moment is a significant defining event or a point in time that leads to a major change or transformation in a person's life or organization, or even a broader context like history or society. These moments often serve as turning points after which things are markedly different than they were before. Pivotal moments can be positive or negative and can occur in various aspects of life, including personal, professional, and societal contexts. So, characteristics of a pivotal moment: significant impact. It brings about a substantial change in circumstances, perspective, or behavior. Decisive change. It marks a clear before and after distinction. Personal growth or transformation often leads to development, learning, or a new direction. Unpredictable can sometimes be unforeseen or unexpected, though they can also be the result of long-term efforts or decisions. Examples of pivotal moments: personal life, graduating from college, getting married, the birth of a child, a career change, overcoming a major challenge or illness. Professional life, receiving a promotion, launching a successful project, starting a new business, experiencing a significant failure or setback. Historical, societal, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the invention of the internet, major political events, significant social movements. Importance: reflection and decision making. Pivotal moments often prompt introspection and reassessment of goals and priorities. Opportunity for growth. They can be opportunities for personal or professional development and can lead to new opportunities. Influence on future. Decisions made during or after a pivotal moment can shape future paths and outcomes. Recognizing and understanding pivotal moments can help individuals and organizations navigate change more effectively and make the most of opportunities for growth and improvement. So, everybody got to have that pivotal moment, man, that spark change in their life from this way to that way, but in a positive way, not a negative way. So, and those are the moments where you start your testimony at. Before I had this moment right here, this is where I was. But after I had this moment, this is where I became. This is where I ended up. This is my journey now. You feel me? And that's your purpose. You got to tell your testimony. The enemy will try to turn your testimony to a messimony. You know what I'm saying? You notice you, as long as you doing wrong, nobody got nothing to say. It seemed like the whole world on your side. because you one of the worlds. You a part of the world. They're not gonna talk about their own. They're not gonna make fun of their own. You one of them. But the minute you have that pivotal moment and you change your life, you a target to be laughed at, lied on, cutthroated, people being jealous of you, envy of you, you know, people, man, just the list go on and on and on with nothing but negativity. It go on and on and on and on. And the thing be, they can't even explain why they acting that way. A person who changed their life and you have other people who haven't got there hating them, they can't even tell you why. They can't tell you why, man. Now tell me that ain't power. Tell me that ain't something just amazing. You can't even tell me why you don't like me. Man, you talk too much. Nah, maybe you just listening to me too much. If you don't listen, you won't hear me talk. That's your remedy. If that's the reason, don't listen to me. Nah, you don't want other people to listen to me talk. And you don't got that control. Seem like you the problem. Seem like you want people to listen to you. That ain't a person doing you anything. Because people are gravitating to him. Oh, you think they gravitating to me? And that's why they're not gravitating to you because of me? That's your personal problem. They can't never tell you what the problem is. It ain't nobody that done hated on me gave me a legitimate reason of why. Why? What's your reason? What's your reason? What's your reason, man? Because if I don't rock with you, I guarantee you, I can tell you why. If I got an issue with you, I guarantee you, I can tell you why. And that's the difference from a person who's operating in awareness on God's time and God and the devil's time. The devil ain't nothing but a false accuser, man. You feel me? He's a habitual liar. He lied for no damn reason. And only low energy people believe him. Because they don't know no better. That simple. It's that simple. You hear me? So yeah, man. I'm consistent. I'm consistent with what I do, man. I ain't flip-flopping. Flop flipping. Yeah, I've been baptized. Baptism is nothing if you don't know the significance of it. Baptism supposed to symbolizes you dying from your old ways of living. Going in that water, coming up as a new creature to a new life. Being a new person in the spirit. Washing your old life off. You have bathed in pureness. Once you dipped and you come up, you're a new creature, born again. Walk in the spirit. In order to walk in the spirit, you got to know spiritual principles. In order to know spiritual principles, you got to be connected to the spirit. Study the spirit, research the spirit, pray and ask God to continue to lead you by the Spirit. And that's it. That's it, man. So y'all already know what it is, man. I'm gonna get at y'all, man. I appreciate everybody tuned in. The greatest secret. You dig? I'm out. See what they not gonna do. What they not gonna do is let what I'm be doing now go viral. Nah. Them not gonna do that. But it's love though. I'm out.